Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt completely lost trying to understand women? Do their actions and words seem like an unsolvable puzzle? Believe me, I get it. There are tons of videos out there titled How to Understand Women, but none of them actually deliver, which is even more frustrating. I am actually going to really tell you how to definitely understand women in this video. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Yeah, right. This guy's going to tell me how to understand women? No one can understand women. They just don't make any sense. Or maybe you're thinking, what the heck makes you think you are qualified to explain women? You aren't even a woman. Well, stick with me, because I'm about to flip everything you think you know about women right on its head. The truth is, you've been told that women are complicated and difficult to understand. That's a lie. Women are actually relatively easy to understand if you can understand one simple concept that completely explains all their seemingly irrational behavior. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's be honest. When you ask, how do I understand women? What you're really asking is, how do I get women to be attracted to me? And how can I be in a relationship with a woman without driving myself nuts? Don't worry, by the end of this video, once you truly understand women, the answer to those questions will be obvious. Now, there are 4 critical topics we're going to cover in this video: how women think, how women behave, how women communicate, and finally, what women want. Once you understand these topics, you'll be like Neo seeing the Matrix for the first time. Ready to decode the mystery? Let's dive in. Remember I told you there was one thing that would make it much easier to understand women? Want to know what it is? It's understanding that the way women think is much different than how you think as a man. As men, we operate primarily on logic. When you make decisions, you weigh out all the information and usually choose the most logical course of action. For example, when you're looking for a job, you probably don't decide based on how you feel about it. Sure, feelings might play a part, but you're more likely to consider factors like pay, vacation time, and how close it is to home. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Women make decisions based on how they feel in the moment. This is why women can say some pretty intense stuff during a fight. You might never tell a woman you love that you hate her, but it's not uncommon for a woman to say that or worse, even if she was telling you how much she loved you just 30 minutes ago. This can be confusing and make it seem like women are unpredictable. But what's really happening is that women place a higher value on their current emotions than we do. Women think primarily based on emotion and intuition, while men think based on logic and facts. This isn't a knock on women, it's just a different way of thinking. Before I understood this, I was frustrated all the time. I think, I can't believe you'd act this way after all I've done for you. But what I didn't realize is that women care more about what you're doing right now than what you did in the past. That's why a woman can seem to throw away a long, successful relationship on what looks like a spur-of-the-moment decision. In reality, her emotional needs probably haven't been met for a long time. Here's a crucial point. Don't believe what a woman says, believe what she feels. A woman might say something shocking and hurtful, but she's not expressing a logical truth. She's expressing how she feels right now. This can be confusing, but the upside is that a woman's emotions can change quickly for the better. Most of the time, when a woman is upset with you, the problem isn't what she's saying it is. Instead, it's that she doesn't feel loved by you in that moment. You might love her and have shown her many times, but if she doesn't feel it right now, to her, it doesn't exist. This can be frustrating, but if you understand this, you can stop trying to solve the problem and just make her feel loved. Often the problem will disappear on its own. Let me tell you about a coaching client of mine. He started dating a woman who loved to go out partying with her friends at bars and clubs. He told her that he didn't like that behavior, and she immediately responded by saying he was being controlling. He kept his cool and replied that she could do whatever she wanted, but he would make his choices about the relationship based on her actions. The very next day, she told him she wouldn't be going out drinking with her friends anymore and appreciated the boundaries. Her last relationship didn't have the right kind of boundaries. Now, this story perfectly illustrates how women behave and why understanding their behavior is crucial. Now that you understand how women think emotionally, let's talk about how women behave, what some would call female nature. As you can imagine, much of how women behave is a direct result of their emotional way of thinking. If you understand this, you can predict many behaviors that might seem bizarre or illogical to you. Hint, they often are. Much of how women behave is deeply rooted in evolutionary biology. Women are the physically weaker sex, so much of their behavior is based on survival. In our not too distant past, a woman's best chance for survival was to get with a strong man who could protect her and her children and provide resources. Seems pretty simple, right? But it gets more complicated when you consider that men, knowing this, could just pretend to be strong and resourceful. To counter this, women have developed many ways to test men to see if they're actually who they claim to be. Some people call these tests shit tests, but it goes way deeper than that. If you get into a relationship with a woman, the first thing you'll likely observe is that a woman will test your boundaries. A woman will frequently check you to see if you are the man you say you are. Will you actually follow through? What happens if she disrespects you? What if she goes clubbing with her friends and stays out till 2 a.m.? What if she stands you up on a date? What will you do? Weak men respond with anger or don't respond at all and let themselves be walked all over. A strong man who knows he has other potential options will walk away or remove his attention from her. He will set boundaries and enforce them. Here's the connection. If you have a history of women treating you badly and disrespecting you, it doesn't mean all women are bad or will cheat on you. The common denominator is you. Weak men get treated badly because women are a reflection of the man they're with. If you are weak, women will test you, push your boundaries, and ultimately disrespect you because they are searching for strength and leadership. If you look at this from a survival instinct perspective, you'll see that women are not initiators, they are responders. Women generally adapt more than men and tend to follow the leadership of a strong man because that ensures protection and resources. This isn't a conscious choice, it's an instinctual drive. Women aren't strategically thinking about these things. In fact, most women will be highly offended to think they adapt to the man they're with, but it doesn't change the truth of it. One final note on women's behavior. Women abhor weak men. A woman may want a man to take charge, but she will always try to take charge herself. Most men back down and let her be the boss. In the absence of masculinity, a woman will fulfill that role for her protection and survival. Let me share with you a little story. One time, my wife, Nicole, and I were at a winery doing a tasting. Neither of us drinks anymore. And we were waiting for a host to come to the counter so we could get our glasses. While we were waiting, we kissed, and immediately after, I could tell something was wrong. She said she wanted to leave, and when I asked her what was wrong, she wouldn't tell me. Finally, we got to the car, and she's visibly upset. She tells me when I kissed her, I was looking somewhere else. I was shocked, and now a little upset myself. I was watching for the host to come to the counter so that we didn't miss him. Did she think I was looking at another woman or something? It seemed like a huge overreaction to me, and I found it insulting. I explained to her why I wasn't looking at her, that obviously I didn't do it on purpose, and I told her how ridiculous her reaction was. And as you can imagine, that did not go well, and we got into a several-hour discussion that didn't even need to happen. What I didn't understand at the time, but I do now, is that it didn't matter why she was upset. All she was looking for was for me to acknowledge that her feelings were hurt and that I cared that I hurt her feelings intentionally or not. Women primarily communicate to build relationships and enhance social connections. Men primarily communicate to convey information. Women also do not compartmentalize different areas of their life like men do. So while you can have a hard day at work and then come home and not let work bother you, women generally cannot. Everything spills over, and that's why women need to vent. When a woman's venting, she's not trying to complain and trying to take her frustrations out on you, nor is she trying to get you to fix her problems. She's simply releasing built-up emotional energy and seeking empathy. She just wants to know you hear her and care about how she feels. Where most men go wrong is they either try to fix the problem she's talking about.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me, and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
Or they take it personally and think that her negative emotions are a reflection of her dissatisfaction with the relationship. Many times, when a woman is just trying to convey how she feels about a situation, we, as men, can get defensive. This makes her feel like she's not being heard and that her emotions are not valid. A woman doesn't necessarily need you to agree with her, but she does want to know you acknowledge how she feels and that it is important to you. Women tend to see defensiveness as weakness, but appreciate vulnerability. It's much better to not try to defend yourself and instead acknowledge and empathize with how she feels, even if you did nothing wrong. Then calmly state how the way she expressed things or what she did made you feel. Instead of triggering her own defensive and masculine response, you'll be much more likely to trigger her nurturing, feminine response. This is perhaps the most confusing topic for most men. What do women actually want? Some guys think it's looks, other guys think all women care about is money. Some people will tell you it's a combination of the 3 6s: 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, and 6-pack abs. But as any man who has all of those things and still finds women aren't interested in him can attest, none of those things are quite it. In reality, what women actually want in a man is much more complicated than just being good looking and having money. There are 3 qualities that women want in a man that I call the maverick, the rock star, and the knight. If you want women to be attracted to you and stay attracted to you, you need to learn these 3 qualities. So what exactly are the maverick, the rock star, and the knight? Why are these qualities so irresistible to women? If you're serious about understanding women and unlocking the secrets to lasting attraction, you don't want to miss my next video where I break down each of these qualities in detail. Click here to watch what women desire most in a man. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. It's the key to transforming your relationships and finally understanding what women truly want. See you in the next video.